Hello, algebra students. This is lesson 3-10, unit 3, lesson 10 on solving and graphing inequalities. This is the second last lesson in this unit because we're only going up to 11. So yay. So solving and graphing inequalities. So I'm going to skip the inequalities tab for just a second. We're going to come back to it, I promise. Don't freak out. But let's look at this inequality right here. Can we list all of the solutions for this? And when you read this, and again, don't be silly. Don't get this wrong just because you don't want to hold your hands up. Hold your hands up if you get these confused like I do. I get these confused just like I get my left confused for my right hand all of the time. The one that makes the L for me is the one that says less than. So this does not make an L. So this says that x is greater than or equal to -6. So what kind of numbers could we fill in there for greater than or equal to -6? Well, examples of solutions could be -6, right? Because -6 is greater than or equal to. It's not greater than, but it is equal to. So -6, we could do -5, we could do -4, -3, and really, I mean, anything that's bigger than -6. -2, -1, we can keep going on and on and on and on until we get to like ridiculously large. That's not where the comma goes. Swoop, hold on, pressing the wrong button here. There we go. 3, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Like ridiculously long numbers. So could we list all of them? Could we list all of the numbers that are bigger than -6? And we can't. There's no way that we could possibly write all of those down because there is an infinite number of numbers that is bigger than -6 or that are greater than -6. So there's no possible way. And that leads us to this very important purple star here. And that is that inequalities have an infinite number of solutions. And that ties into the fact that we can't list them all because of that infinite number of them. So, because there's an infinite number of solutions and we cannot list them all, we can represent them on a number line by graphing them. And that is what we're going to get into next. Sorry, hold on a sec. Come on, computer. It's okay. Okay. Anyways, so when you're graphing these inequalities on a number line, sorry, that's sidetracked. When you're dealing with these guys, so again, let's just go ahead and fill these in. This one makes the L, so this is less than. This is greater than. This is less than or equal to. Greater than or equal to. And when we're looking at these, when they're graphed on the number line, the less than and the greater thans, those have open circles. Those get open circles. And that's because that number is not included. And what we mean by that is if we have something like x is less than 6, and if we were to put 6 in there, 6 is not less than 6, so this is false and this is not true. So this is false. So that's what we mean by not included. Like that number that it's right on, that open circle is saying that it's not included. It's not part of the solution. Let's write that down. Not included or not. No, that shouldn't be them. Not part of the solution. That's better. Okay. So then when we're dealing with, and actually, let's go green because green's better and it's a little more. So then when we're dealing with less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, and it's got the line underneath it, instead of getting an open circle, those are going to get closed or filled in circles. So these are going to get filled in circles. And that is because of the opposite. These are included. And that's simply because of that or equal to. If I have x is less than or equal to 6, and then I have 6 is less than or equal to, that is what we would call a true statement, which means that it is a solution. It is a solution. So, little bit more information when we're dealing with these. This thing is really important. It's definitely something I've talked to you about as 7th graders. Warned you about it, that you'd be seeing it again in 9th grade. And imagine that. I wasn't lying to you. So you need to remember to flip the inequality. And when I say flip the inequality, I mean if it's, greater than, it goes to, that's less than. If it's less than, it goes to greater than. If it's, greater than or equal to, it would go to less than or equal to. It never is going to change the or equal to part. So you need to flip the inequality if you multiply or divide by a negative number. So just keep that in mind. It's not brand new, but is something that you need to remember. So that is the intro and the stuff that you need to know about solving and graphing inequalities. We'll take a look at the first example in the next video.